And welcome to another episode of the Supersubs podcast. My name is Colburn Treader, joined with Chris Wenzel and Brian Bechtel. We have an action-packed show today for you all. Thank you for tuning in. This is March 22nd, 2022. It's go time in a lot of ways for us. And so we've got a lot to talk about today. But before we do that, I just want to say, if you're listening, thanks for listening. We're going to talk about Barcelona, Real Madrid, Roma, Lazio, il Derby Della Capitale, West Ham, Tottenham, as well as, of course, what we've been waiting for months, which is the World Cup Qualifiers, are coming to a climax here in the next week or so. So if you like it, if you like what you hear, check us out on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Full episodes will be on YouTube every week, but also highlights will be cut and edited for TikTok and Instagram. So please check us out, like, subscribe there. So appreciate it. With my PSA out of the way, gentlemen, good evening. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Bern, if you were tossing that over to me. I think that the Couleurs are back, Messi included. Barcelona with the big win on Sunday, which was awesome. And yeah, you know, the moment has finally arrived. I see you're panicked as usual with the Italian 2006 squad behind you. It's going to be great stuff Thursday.
You're breaking up, Brian. We can't hear
right
you.
around the corner.
Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have to drop Brian from the call. He has some technical difficulties. We'll just edit the rest out.
Dude, let's
Chris?
just get Mauro Camoranesi back in the squad. I think that would fix everything.
Honestly, they probably all still have eligibility left. We need them. We especially need a right back. Chris?
I'm doing great, thanks. That's the first thing I thought of, Brian. Like, I kid you not, when I look at that squad behind Colburn, I thought about, isn't it Camoranesi? Like, that's the first thing I thought of was like, isn't it Camoranesi? And like the first thing, you know, you have like Gattuso, Pirlo, Buffon that looks extra Italian.
Legends.
Materazzi that I won't talk about. Totti, Fabio Grosso that plays in Lyon, Zambrotta. And I'm missing those two, but Colburn will help me, the number 20 and the 9. So is that Luca Toni?
9 is Luca Toni. And also Simone Perotta on the left-hand side, number 20.
Oh, God. Maybe from Roma, I believe, right?
Yes, a Roman.
Oh, yes, he is. And then the big man up in the top of my screen here, I think it's on your right. So
what a huge G.
Yeah, what a huge boss. Ready to just dial in some chill through balls for Luca Toni.
A dying position.
Yes, a dying position, especially in the Italian side, who have 0. Chris, you on your background, keeping classy as always, just a couple legends there behind you as well.
That's right. So I'm going to hide a little bit so we can see. So obviously, big boss, Zinedine Zidane. Zinedine Zidane also, and in France, we basically never call him Zidane. We call him Zizou. Zizou. And he did one of the feats that's very difficult, to be one of the best players of all time, a GOAT, and also a great coach. I think only Beckenbauer did it. Zico not as well. Dino Zoff won the World Cup as both. Didier Deschamps in a certain level. But okay, who do you have? You have Marcel Desailly. You have Laurent Blanc in his joggings. You have Vicente Lizarazu from Country Basque, very short, but like a lot of great mindset. And Pires and him, that's the Olivier Giroud of 1998. That's Stéphane Guivarch. Now he sails over the ground pools. It's not even a joke.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
That is incredible.
I feel like the great player, great coach thing is true in American sports too. Typically, it doesn't work. But we might have another one brewing over in Barcelona. We'll get to that in a minute.
Ooh, we will. Why don't we get to it right now, Brian? I know you have some opinions here. Barcelona takes Real Madrid, not to be confused with Real Salt Lake, to the woodshed over the weekend. Wow, what a score line. It could have been 10-0. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, you know, I've been keeping tabs on Barcelona. We've been talking about them for a few weeks. not getting too excited with the Xavi start, but I mean, this is as big of a statement as they can make. Despite their progress in the Europa League, they had a nice win in Turkey against Galatasaray on Thursday, and then back that up going to the Bernabeu and just beating the shit out of Real Madrid. It was for a guy that prefers Barcelona over Madrid, it was pretty excellent. It really strange though. I mean, you've seen, it doesn't happen a lot obviously in that rivalry, but you've seen a few Clásicos in the last decade or so that Barcelona have dominated, and you could always kind of see it coming. This one was kind of out of nowhere. I think that after watching PSG go in to play them, I bet that the way that Barcelona's been playing, that they were kind of licking their chops a bit, even though Madrid showed a lot of resolve in coming back to beat PSG. Sorry, Chris. But the way that PSG controlled the play was a way that Barcelona was going to be able to do it, and they did it a lot better than PSG was able to. I know that Kareem the Dream was watching from the sidelines, which we can't discount.
Chris, that saves your blushes over there.
Yeah. His impact would have been kind of probably similar to what he did against Madrid in that against PSG in that first half, being able to snatch on half chances and be a threat. And they didn't have that, and that was a big miss. But yeah, I mean, it could have been 6-0 easily and even more. Aubameyang missed a great chance. Ferran Torres missed a great chance.
Ferran Torres missed a one-on-one with the goalkeeper and missed the target. That was crazy to me. But I mean, it was never in doubt, I guess, that after that they scored 2 there, and it felt like they were in control. Yeah,
the only part is like, what do we think? Should Aubameyang been sent off for his challenge in the first half? I thought it was a bit dicey. I don't know. I mean, a VAR check on that would have. I could see a ref having sent him off, but they didn't. And Madrid were so poor. I mean, yeah, Eder Militao, I thought especially was pretty horrendous. So yeah, Barcelona, as PK said, or maybe it was Shakira, I can't remember. Barca is back. I think we can finally say it. So it'll be great to see next year as they come back to the Champions League and keep building with this young core of players. I thought Pedri is really going to be something special for probably a long time. So, all right, that's enough of the Couleur talk. I'll let Chris jump in here on what do you think of the game?
Hey, great analysis. Like, I completely agree with you, Brian. I think a few things for me. I mean, there's so much to talk about, honestly, to like break this down in terms of like what happens, where they came from, are they back? And on the Real Madrid side and Eder Militao, completely agree. So I'll start with the negative and then we'll get into the positive. So the Real side, so El Mister, Ancelotti didn't have a good day. I mean, they have a very short squad. So to explain this correctly is that basically the true professional player and the player that have a Champions League level, it's 12, 13 on the Real Madrid squad, because Gareth Bale is doing what you were doing before the show, Brian, it looks like. So playing golf. Wales, golf, Real Madrid in this order. Because like he could play 9 and he's terrific when he plays and he has his mind to it, and he's still like in very good shape compared to, sadly, Eden Hazard, but can't play. Yeah, I think one of the stats was Eden Hazard has played 0 minutes in all the Clásicos since he's got to Real Madrid 3 years ago.
It's crazy.
I saw that. That's impossible.
No. And so basically Ancelotti is like, okay, he can go to Jovic. And that was one of the mistakes of Zidane as a manager. He thought Jovic, they bought him for 50 million euros. He thought he could be a backup at least, and he just likes the nightlife in Madrid a little bit too much apparently, and so he's not very professional, and so that's why
PSG is interested in him. Is that what you're going to say?
Paris Saint-Germain, yeah.
Sounds like the perfect fit.
Yeah. and Mariano Diaz also. And so that's why he tried like a complete poker bluff and was like, you know what, Modric, you play false nine. And that was awful. And that's one thing that we keep saying, and I'm very consistent about that, is that Vinicius, yes, it's the breakout season, but without Benzema, he's nothing. Like even when he plays like with the national La Seleção, he doesn't play well because he doesn't have a number 10, a 9.5. He doesn't have a player that goes by the nickname of Karim the Dream. So in French, we have this idiom that says un seul être vous manque et tout le reste vous paraît dépeuplé, with from a famous French author who I forgot the name.
It's okay, Brian can translate that.
Even me, it's difficult to translate. Honestly, it's not, you cannot do a literal translation. So it goes by, you miss one person and the world seems empty to you. So I think it's pretty better than what I prepared before the show, actually. And yeah, Barcelona didn't have it. They also made a big mistake against Ousmane Dembele. They put Nacho.
Ooh, by the way, can I just say, Chris, your comment on Vinicius, I couldn't agree more with. He had those two chances early on in the game, and it was almost as if he was looking for Benzema to pass to, and there was nobody there, and it was just him. So he had to go it alone or pass. It was. I thought to myself watching that, I go, oh, he doesn't have Benzema. He doesn't know what to do here. And it's so funny that you say that because he was the only one going forward early in that game, I thought. And he needs support, and he needed Karim the Dream.
Well, yeah, I mean, I agree too, but I think we're kind of letting Rodrigo off the hook a bit because Vinicius is still maybe not as great as all the hype he's getting, but Rodrigo should be somewhat of a competent player, and it was him and Vinicius up top, and I mean Rodrigo was totally invisible. So
it's true.
I think Chris, Vinicius can play. How about that? But maybe he's not the superstar that Madrid need him to be.
Yeah.
I mean, he's still young, but like I heard at the beginning of the season when you had like a pretty stratospheric start of the season, like he's the best player in the world, like Mbappe, like we don't even need Mbappe. Okay, you guys cool down. You guys are young. you guys haven't seen many seasons. You guys think Manchester City already had the title in the pocket at that time. So a season is long. You guys will learn. You'll get wiser when you get older. Let's cool down. He has like really good season in the air. On that stretch, he's playing better than Mbappe, but don't worry, Mbappe will show up. Yeah, I know. I don't mean to diminish Barca's won away in a full, almost full house in Bernabeu. But yeah, another French idiom. Benzema is l'arbre qui cache la forêt, which translates to is the tree that hides the rest of the forest. And yeah, because like he's the only one. That's why Real Madrid is hanging by the thread. And even if Chelsea is not the strongest Premier League contender, they're probably, and they're getting better now, they're probably through them again, just like last season in the quarterfinal. It's already a miracle that they went to quarterfinal, but I don't think they'll progress any further. And if they do this time, it will be pretty lucky. It will be penalties or something like this. But yeah, now going to the positive side, Barca had like like almost the perfect games. Like it was a FIFA. We were texting and yeah, it sounded like a FIFA game. Like it could have easily been 6-7-0. Real Madrid was non-existent, but it was because the young is the Ajax, the young now. It's not the one that is cousin that was hanging on the pitch for the last couple of years. Some people said Busquets was dead. Well, it doesn't look like it. And Pedri, can he be French? Like, is he? Does he have a passport or something?
Chris, you're spoiled for riches. I think Colburn would like him to be Italian first.
We're dying for
Not
talent
Italian.
over here. We're dying for talent. I would just say also De Jong is being asked to play less defense under Xavi's system, which I think is his biggest weakness by far. I hated watching him play center back for Barcelona. It was a disaster. He was awful. So he's in a position where he needs to be, which is more where he played for Ajax, which is just looking ahead, not playing defense.
Center back was impossible when it made no sense.
He was
at the time.
awful at it too.
Yeah, totally insane. Xavi, the manager, is there's no way he's sticking Frankie De Jong in center back. No way. Good call. He was great too. And Busquets when he's on, he really is. He's the rhythm of the team.
Joy, like watching joy in football, because for my intramural team, I play the Busquets role. And so, there's a lot of similarities that my teammates, I don't say this, my teammates say that I draw from him. And so to watch him is one of my favorite players now that De Rossi has retired. So I enjoy when he's on.
Yeah. So, but like back to like Xavi's master plan, maybe one thing that has flown under the radar is that now he has more breadth than Real Madrid for sure. I mean, obviously they paid for it, but now he has brought back Serginho Dest. Unfortunately, he's got injured against Galatasaray, but he's brought back Serginho Dest to a tactical level defensively that's been his weakness, and that he's getting better, just like Theo Hernandez that's done for Maldini at Milan. And I had doubts about Serginho Dest, but now he's really good, and he could be the starter. He alternates with Dani Alves. But he's against Vinicius, I'm going to have to put a center back or someone that has speed. So he put Ronald Araujo. So good call. That's, those little things like this is good call. And also, again, we speak about that all the time, but Ousmane Dembele, this one is actually not the correct example because he played the full 90, if I'm correct. But usually it's the starter, if it's Adama Traoré, you play 60. Then you're subbed off, and it's Ousmane Dembele that plays 30. The next game is Dembele that starts, plays 60. Adama comes for 30. And they rotate. Fernan, Depay plays a little bit. And it's and Gavi also. So everyone gets knows he can play, and they depending on the strength of he adapts himself. And if I'd be honest, I didn't see that coming that quickly. I thought it was gonna take 2 years to rebuild. I thought Aubameyang, Adama Traoré wasn't Barca compatible, and that was a mistake. Maybe that's short term. Maybe that's just for this season to make it to Champions League, because Champions League places were in doubt when he took over. And the Ousmane Dembele Aubameyang connection, at Dortmund, is perfect. Dembele started to recovering his pace, which he hasn't. Even if he hasn't been injured for 4 months, which is a lot for him. And you could tell he was getting better, but he wasn't really trying, and he wasn't really accelerating. And this time he smoked some of the natural. And his quality and he started dribbling more aggressively, and also his crosses quality is probably one of the best old school wingers cross quality that you don't see much, because they're all cutting and shot. And so that was a joy to watch and very unexpected. And I think Barca is back. So honestly, now they are my favorite for the Europa League. And for me, they were one of the contenders, but now they're my favorite. It would be a deception if they don't win it.
Agreed. Might have to check in on the Europa League. Usually a forgotten competition, but I might be tuning in for some Barcelona games.
Oh, you're going to be watching Atalanta as well.
Yeah, maybe an Atalanta-Barcelona semi could be pretty nice, or final. It was really the Barcelona of old, to watch them just control play and just that really beautiful, fluid attacking Barcelona way that, kind of they're the only team that really has done it since I've been watching football. And it was almost like a vintage display, which is crazy to think without any of the star legends of the past. But I think we're watching at least one in the making in Pedri, and still got one lingering around in Busquets. But yeah, just super enjoyable, vintage, awesome Barcelona performance. Bernie, final thoughts?
I'm trying to find when the last time they lost in La Liga, December 4th against Betis, 1-0. December 4th.
Mid-December.
They are on fire. I mean, okay, so they lost to Bayern in the Champions League. Yikes. But if we start January, they beat Mallorca. They beat Linares Deportivo in the Copa del Rey, whatever. They drew Granada. They did lose to Athletic in the Copa del Rey on the 20th, but then they came back. They beat Alaves. They beat Atletico Madrid 4-2. Remember, we covered that one. Espanyol, they drew Napoli. Then they beat Valencia 4-1. Then they beat Napoli. Then they came back and smoked Athletic 4-0. They beat Elche 2-1, drew Galatasaray, smoked Osasuna 4-0, beat Galatasaray, and then now smoked Madrid. They are on fire in La Liga. In the last 6 games, they've beaten 3 teams 4-0. Sick.
Yeah, and they are fun to watch. They score on crosses. They score on set pieces from Dani Alves or Ousmane Dembele, who's actually so that's the thing, you know. Sorry, I bring always back to the Frenchness. I'm so sorry about that.
You know what, Chris? It's totally fine.
But a lot of people say like Ousmane Dembele, like he should be scoring 20 goals a season and blah blah blah. And look at his stats and maybe Ousmane Dembele is an old school winger, and maybe he should be judged maybe on assists. And when you look at the assists for playing 4 months only, I believe he's the third leading assist deliverer in Liga. The first number 1 is obviously Karim the Dream.
Crazy.
Obviously.
I don't make those. I mean, it's just stats. Shakira will say hips don't lie, but it's actually stats don't lie here. So Ousmane Dembele, I believe, has 9 assists in playing just 4 months. He delivered, and like and the versatility with that has Aubameyang, I think, is one of the most underrated number 9. Wherever he's played, he's always scored. Arsenal, you look at his stats, he scored. You look at Dortmund, he scored. Saint-Etienne, he scored. I think one of the things like he hasn't been that guy, and those teams has been mostly like Europa League teams. So that's why he's not been granted a top level status, but that's very fun. Now they're very fun to watch. I always make sure to check them out now on my list of the teams to watch, because they are probably even Bayern has gone down. I watch them, and even Bayern they're not having having one good performance and one not. And Barca has been really consistent lately, so it's fun. Xavi to be, as you mentioned, one of the goats of the team on the pitch, and now as a manager. I think I saw like a clip on social media where basically they were on the pitch with Pep, and Pep was the captain of Barca, and Xavi was like probably like 18 or 20, and he was telling Pep like, "Hey, you do that." He was placing Pep on the pitch.
I saw that clip too. Yeah, that's awesome.
It reminded me of Xavi Simons trying to do that with Gana Gay and Verratti, and they were not having it.
Different mentality.
A different club.
By the way, Chris, just a quick stat check. Yes, Ousmane Dembele does have 9 assists this season, and 7 assists in his last 8 games. So wow. Definitely in form for sure. So we'll definitely look to see what they do both in the Europa League and then as we close out the season. Let's move to the league for the refined palate here. That is Serie A. The game that we want to talk about here is the Derby Della Capitale, which is Roma-Lazio. And the Romans put in their best performance of the season by far, absolutely put Lazio to the sword, as they say. So 3-0 win. The game was over at halftime, basically. And then they saw the rest of the game out. I just want to say a couple things. One, The first goal off a corner was kind of sloppy, but the second goal from Tammy Abraham was a beauty. And I have to say that cross and that finish looks so smooth for how difficult that is. And for those of you out there who might have seen this, and if not, go check that out. That second goal was a brilliant finish from Abraham, contorting his body to turn it in. The third goal from Pellegrini was even better, and perhaps even better than his free kick against Juventus. That was an absolute sniper's bullet into the top corner. I loved it. So it was also good for Atalanta because it brought Lazio back down to earth. And I generally enjoy watching the Romans play when Mourinho lets them out of the cage a little bit. So I thought it was a great game. I enjoyed it. It makes that Europa League race even more interesting in Serie A.
Yeah, I caught a little bit of it. I was flipping back between that and the Houston, Illinois tournament game on Sunday morning. Yeah, no, it is nice to see. It's nice to see Roma playing well. I was more in it for Mourinho's comments earlier in the week, just trashing Zdeněk Zeman, which was pretty hilarious. I don't know, Colburn, did you not see those?
I didn't see that.
Those comments? Did you not? Wow. All right. Well,
let's hear it.
Let me pull those up because they're pretty funny.
Mourinho cracks me up.
Yeah, he still has it every once in a while. Is like his theater.
He's fun. I mean, he's funny. Like, I think he's a funny guy. He tells great stories too. So outside of the fact that I think he's crazy a little bit when it comes to players, and him throwing players under the bus, we talk about a lot, doesn't always work for him, and also doesn't endear him to the press at all, who ultimately, do control some of the public opinion around him. He is funny.
Zeman said something critical of Mourinho, and Mourinho said, "Do you expect a coach who won 25 trophies to respond to someone who won Serie B twice? If you ask me a question about Giovanni Trapattoni or Fabio Capello, I'm happy to answer, but Zeman, please, I can't." Get buried.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Oh, yeah, get buried.
Oh, he was like, "Thanks for playing. I'll see you back on the bench."
And he said that before the game, too, and they smoked Lazio. Sick.
Oh, that is great.
Players backed it up.
Oh, they totally backed it up. I don't know, Chris, if you saw that Abraham goal, but that was nice. And then Pellegrini, he is in form.
He's going to start, though?
No, because he doesn't fit in Mancini's system, which is a shame, because he's actually the most informed Italian player that is currently active right now. So besides maybe your boy Verratti.
I was going to say, besides Verratti, because he's not injured, that means he's in form. So that's, that's the bar with him.
So, yeah, but unfortunately, he never has a position. They don't play with a number 10. So he will be on the bench.
Does Pellegrini play like the 10?
Yes. Unfortunate, because Mancini has his system, and that's the system. But it worked. So, but it's a shame. That goal was sweet.
You must have enjoyed another scoreless big game from Ciro Immobile. Or would you have preferred him to score leading up to the World Cup qualifier?
He's going to start. I know we're going to talk about it, but I think he's going to start. I demand excellence from him for 2 games. And I don't care if he scores before. I don't care if he scores after. I demand excellence for those 2 games. And that's it. That's all I have to say. Just win, baby. Just win. So anyway, any other thoughts on that game? Others, we'll move on to the Premier, a London derby.
One of many.
Yes, one of many. Tottenham West Ham. I just want to say, Harry Kane, for getting a lot of hate earlier on in his career about being an elite striker, is an excellent player. And his assist to Heung-min Son in this game, Tottenham wins 3-1 against West Ham. That was a big game in the Premier League, but also Harry Kane is, man, I watch him sometimes, and he's just not the most athletic or fleet-footed, but his ball play, his passing, every once in a while, I'm sort of like taken aback by that again. He is excellent at all of those things. His body control, he finds really good pockets to pick up the ball in space. He delivers excellent passes. The pass to Heung-min Son, I encourage everyone to look that up, was just beautifully weighted. So there's just a lot of those where I think that's a number 9 dropping deep and making plays. And so I'm once again impressed by him. He doesn't do the same for England, but for Tottenham, he is a joy.
I was going to say, do you think Gareth should have him taking corner kicks and free kicks again?
That was an earlier Harry Kane. We've moved on. We moved on from that. That was a disaster. I can't believe that. Must have, like in Space Jam, when the Monstars take over the skills of Charles Barkley. That's what it felt like in that game against Iceland.
Chris, does mainland Europe or the French, do they rate Harry Kane at all?
I think he doesn't play for he doesn't play for a big four team, so he doesn't play for like Man City, United. I mean, I don't know if United is a big four team but and he's underrated, I would say, in France. But like I was gonna say, in terms of overall skills, I would say he's the most complete 9, just behind Karim Benzema, and he's the present and future. But when he started, he was just like a pure number 9, a fox in the box, and he's dropping deep. And I think he's very lethal against the goal. But like even the quality of pass is like perfectly weighted, perfectly through, perfectly to Heung-min Son. Obviously, that duo, it's amazing.
It was like the Modric pass. Sorry, Chris. It was like the Modric pass against PSG. It was that good.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Absolutely a former top player. No, it's okay. It's okay.
We're past it. You're right.
We're over it. We're totally over it.
We're not mad.
No, but it's.
But that's just one of many, right? It wasn't just that game. I find that he does that a lot. Yeah. I agree with you that he's not in that top 4, and so he doesn't get maybe the pundits. He's not elite as a player, but he is complete, and he's also underrated, I think, overall. So I think all of those things can be true.
Yeah, well, I think, we talked about it after the Man City game where he turned in another awesome performance.
That was brilliant too.
Getting very, very little of the ball since they parked the bus in a big way. But I mean, just him being linked with Pep Guardiola and Man City in the summer, I think that tells a lot. I mean, Pep's not one of those managers that typically makes a lot of mistakes in recruiting players over to Man City. I think got a great track record of not screwing up big signings, unlike their neighbors next door that are making big money signings all the time and blowing them. So I think that, and I know he didn't make the move, but I think that says a lot. And it's funny, like we're talking about how good of a player he is, but also being underrated. And that feels right to me because he's still playing at Tottenham. He's never won a trophy. So I mean, it'd be nice to see maybe England will one day win another trophy, but it might be time for him to move on.
Please.
But I don't know. I mean, it feels like he can't do it at Spurs though. So at some point, he's probably deserves to have a chance to win somewhere else.
Yeah,
I do agree.
Maybe he goes to Chelsea because it looks like the Man City window has closed, and it might be Haaland. If it's not Haaland, then he'll go for him again. And I think this time he moves. Then Conte leaves and all that stuff. So I think then after they go for the classic £150 million, the English Premier League tax and English player tax. So that's very, very underrated player. And so he deserves to win with clubs, with country. They need a real coach, and they don't have that many good English coaches.
Zero.
So...
No. In fact, Chris, 0 English Premier League winning managers, which is Brian's favorite stat.
It's the most insane stat I've ever heard. It's crazy. And it's so funny that they just had a Scotsman come in and just rule the league forever.
Yeah, the Scots, they're the only one tactically, and the management, like the Daglish, exactly, the Sir Alex, because the English, like, they just park the bus now. All those guys that goes, like to Crystal Palace, Newcastle, West Bromwich Albion.
They all stink.
Not a lot of innovation coming from the West Midlands, I would say.
They're not really controlling areas of the pitch. It's more of a counterattack and corner kind of game.
Yeah. Those middle of nowhere in England places, they don't come up with anything except for Calvin Phillips, the Yorkshire Pirlo.
Just pulling the strings for Gareth Southgate and the national squad. What a joke. Oh man, that's hilarious. So anyway, speaking of national teams, let's move on to the men's national team.
Finally. We're gonna start with America. Okay.
We are ready to go. Yes. Well, we can talk about the MLS next if you want, but
chance.
Let's talk about so now we enter the phase that we at the Supersub podcast have been previewing for months. And we are heading into a crucial series of World Cup qualifiers in CONCACAF, starting with the United States heading to Mexico, to the Estadio Azteca, to take on the Mexican national team in a crucial tie. Where do we want to start? Why don't we start with the call-ups from our friend cousin Greg?
Yeah, I love that one. Yeah, big fan of Succession. So even though last season but the season 2 probably one of the best of all time. But I digress. So I'm a bit confused, Coburn. I thought the time that we were waiting for is this great March friendly windows where France plays against Ivory Coast in Marseille and then goes to the north in Lille and plays against South Africa. Is that not what we were going to
Oh, you know what? That's actually second on the list behind
the US. That's after our CONCACAF Champions League coverage, Chris. Yeah, just wait.
Bruce Arena couldn't make it so that the MLS team had like a bigger chance to win. It's gonna be a final US Mexico again and the MLS CONCACAF Champions League. Does it deserve to be called a Champions League? That's another question. But yeah, no. So okay, looking at the call-ups, a 26 or 27 men's squad. Obviously, in terms of injuries, so Weston McKennie, big blow, because he's running the midfield and he's also like
a huge blow. Brian, it's a problem.
Yeah, because he's not just like technically, it's also like he's a locker room guy. He yells on the other on the pitch, so he's a truly team leader. What else? No matter. Looks like Zach Steffen's gonna make it, or even Ethan Horvath is actually getting in, starting and on fire. Good performance this weekend against Liverpool in the FA Cup that only won 1-0, and Horvath got for the second round in a row the save of the week.
He's been actually excellent. Whenever I hear about him, I find that he's playing well. So it could be worse. We always put together good goalkeepers.
Goalie's never the problem. Never.
Yeah. I'll admit, back then when Tim Howard was probably one of the best keeper in the world in his time, I wasn't like having it. Maybe because at the time I was having this European mindset about American soccer, but he grew on me a little bit later on. It was immense in the goal, and it was difficult to score on him, and like he was perfect in the air and all that stuff. But because before at Man U you had Schmeichel, Fabien Barthez, and Van der Sar, and he succeeded those. So
also, Chris, I will say on the men's national team, Tim got a lot of reps, a lot of practice on goalkeeping. So I think that helped him out.
Yeah. So sorry, back to the US men's national team. But like me, I would start Horvath because it's gonna be about shot stopping rather than play cute and play from the back. So that would be my personal thing, and I really like him in terms of shot stopping, and I think he has the edge on like stopping that PK against was that Hector Herrera in the final of the North America or CONCACAF Nations League. So just for that, I think I would just put him there. No Josh Sargent, where like he's starting to play better, assist, and he can play wide and number 9, which is good versatility to have in the team. When Brandon Aronson, one of the second most informed player in the US men's national team universe, after
that's another loss.
Captain America, and it sounds like
will he be back for Panama?
no, he's out for
No.
the whole thing. He's out for 3 or 4 weeks.
Oh, he's
No,
meniscus, right?
yeah.
MCL.
He's not in the squad.
Yeah, they called up George Bello.
Yes, that's for who got
Dest.
injured. That's for Dest. But they are not calling up. It looks like they are not calling up anyone for Aronson. So we're gonna see a little bit more of Morris and
More behind the back passes for Greg.
Oh God. I don't understand it. We consistently make such weird decisions. Like that should be a no-brainer. Culturally, for the men's national team, it's a big deal to be, even if you don't play, I think it's so important. Mancini's done a great job of that with the Italian squad over the last few years of just bringing guys in. And you got an opportunity to bring somebody in, and we just didn't take it. It's totally insane to me.
Yeah, but we got PFOC this time, which I know the US crowds could not wait for him to actually get in the squad and actually not start. So that's a great way to bring the most informed number 9. That's like ruling the Swiss League. So if he's ruling the Swiss League at very low altitude in Azteca at more than 2,000 meters, so I don't know in feet. Yeah, I think he's gonna do great. I mean, without jokes aside, I think it's probably like the best game for him, because if it's about crosses, now we have Joe Reinhardt. That's one of the good things that we didn't talk about is Joe Reinhardt plays full 90 at the number 8 position against Cologne this weekend. He didn't play very well. I think he didn't want to get too injured, and you could tell he was like doing like a Ousmane Dembélé, like trying not to do too much. He says he prefers the number 10 position, which is funny because he actually never plays number 10. He plays winger. And I think because he's young and he has the speed, so he can do that. But then as you get older, then after you better centrally, and that's probably what happens. But now he's doing well on the side because he's got the speed and the youth leg. But yeah, great set piece taker, so that's great. Christian Pulisic can probably do it because now he's in form, and Kellyn Acosta, which we are not big on it, but honestly it's been solid, and he's delivered against Honduras in minus 15,000 Fahrenheit or Celsius degrees, and getting force bites, and he delivered. So I think those are the key pieces, is that who are your set piece takers and who are at the other end, and Weston McKennie won't be. So you might need PFOC. So as much as I'm not a big fan of PFOC as for the long term, I think as a short-term solution and on set pieces to do like a one-hit wonder, I think you probably, I can see him, if you want to bet, you can probably bet him on him scoring in the last 30 minutes of the game on a set piece.
Wow.
Against Mexico?
Yes.
Wow, dude, Chris, we never score at the Azteca. But I love that. How about in our group text, Jesus Ferreira? Is he the number 3 in form American player right now behind the other guys we already talked about?
Yeah, I watched a lot of MLS this weekend.
Wow, Chris.
Epic.
And Liga MX
Nice.
was the Derby of Monterrey. I think there are only 2 French players on the pitch.
Here we go, Big Gignac.
Andre Pierre
Gignac, which I've been told I am a lookalike. I've been told.
That's funny. It's funny. Yeah, I could see that. You're better looking though.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. And a cross/strike of Florian Thauvin. He hit it with force, so I'm inclined to say that it was on purpose. It was a beautiful goal. But back to Jesus Ferreira, I watched the FC Dallas because the coach of Dallas is a former assistant of the US men's national team and a good friend of cousin Greg, and so he plays a 4-3-3. Pomiakal, I don't know if I say his name correctly, he's promising. A lot of US youth playing there, and Ariola also playing there, and he scored. But Jesus Ferreira, he scored a hat-trick, obviously. A mistake of the goalkeeper on one of those 3 goals, but the first chance he had, he missed it. And then after, right on target, and he scored. And honestly, I think I would start him as a 9 because he's the most in form. And that's the thing, is like the link-up play, he has it, but he was just not clinical and lethal against goal, as he missed against Honduras, I believe, or El Salvador, I think. And now, like, he has the confidence, and I don't want to say anything. I don't know if actually Ferreira's background is his heritage is from Mexico, from another places in Latin America, but if he we need to check the tapes on that, but that would be a good
Colombia.
His background is from Mexico.
No, Colombia.
Okay, so that won't work, but I think he's the most informed, and you play him for 60. P4 comes in, set pieces of Jorina that also comes in after 30 minutes, and P4 scores.
So let's go. Yeah, I was going to say, let's go through the lineup, right? So we're assuming a 4-3-3.
Yeah.
So forward line.
Cousin Greg only plays that. That's the only formation he knows how to play. So it's 4-3-3.
Oh,
Greg.
You said it, Chris. Okay, so I think we can assume Pulisic will start. So it's Areola, Jesus Ferreira, Jordan Morris, Jordan Pefok, Ricardo Pepi, Pulisic, Reina, and Tim Weah. So
we just do Pulisic, Weah, and Reina up top. That's our strongest three.
You don't start Reina. You don't want to get him injured, and you want him to be playing the full 90 against Panama. You have to do game management. Sorry.
So does Pulisic play as well? Yeah.
Pulisic plays. He's on form. You can't play him. He needs to get the confidence with the national team, and you need actually, if you take him out like you're doing, and that's where I will agree with some of the pundits, like you're actually not playing your strongest team. So yeah, you can play Pulisic.
Then I would assume Ricardo Pepi actually gets the start. People love him, but I don't know. What do you all think? I would assume Tim Weah also plays, but we love. I have
something to say about that, but I'll say Brian first.
Well, yeah, Tim Weah plays good for us, so I would put him on the other wing, and Pepi or Ferreira up top, and see if we can bring Jordan Morris off the bench for a last 20-minute goal. Chris called it, so yeah, I'm all for that up top, or in Reina off the bench too, just so he can get some minutes.
I think Jordan Morris would be a mistake. Paul Areola would be a mistake. So as long as we don't have that, I'm okay with Pepi or Ferreira up top. Chris?
Yeah, I would do Ferreira, which I would not have done before that game that I watched, and he seems in form and very confident about his ability against in front of the goal. I like Pepi, but it's difficult to adapt in Germany. He's actually not even, he's on the bench and he's not even coming in. So that's why Josh Sargent would have been my number one starter, and he could have done the whole game and he would have scored instead of Pefok. But for some reason,
we'll never know.
For some reason, like, he's not here. So Ferreira for me, and my best friend Tim Weah, that's coming from an outstanding red card with Lille, and a great performances with Lille that actually won, but not thanks to Tim Weah.
But I'll say, Chris, when Tim Weah delivers a chill assist at the Estadio Azteca, Brian and I are going to call you live in person, even at work, to celebrate that moment. He is going to be so much better for the men's national team than he is for Lille.
Oh yeah. No. Counter attack, get him a full ball, speed, and he's going to smoke those left back from Mexico. No problem. Is he going to cross? It's going to end up a corner. The corner will be delivered by either Acosta, Pulisic, or Reina, and Pefok will score. He will be, but you won't see him do a cross that will lead to an assist. You can call me on that.
Oh, I love that. That's great. And speaking of Acosta, so midfielders, I think we can assume Tyler Adams and Kellen Acosta will be the starter.
Sorry. I mean right now.
Uh-oh.
Adams is on a yellow, and I'm sorry about we need to play our best team, and he's the best midfielder. No. The goal is to make it to the World Cup, and you do like the Italian do. So you do the bare minimum, 1-0. And then after you play and you play better, you have 6 months to build a team. You call in Acosta, you call him Cameron Vickers, you finally reconciled with John Brooks, and then you have a real team and you actually had a chance to get to quarterfinal. But now you have a squad, you have to play and you have to play with like you're on a yellow, you don't play, just like Verratti, no, you don't play, man. You're on a yellow, man. So unfortunately, and also Adams has not been playing as regularly against Domenico Tedesco. So you would say then you would need some time to play. I would not risk him.
I actually, you've convinced me. I agree. It's the Panama game is all that matters, almost. Yes. Do you think Greg is really going to take that long view? I would be curious to see if he does. I hope he does.
No, he does. He sucks at tactics, like outsmarting the other coach and manager. He sucks at that.
He's more of a basketball player, yeah.
But the kind of stuff, the kind of stuff that's like stats about like you need to run that amount of I was gonna say kilometers, miles at that intensity, and like you run too many, be careful, you're in the red, I need to sub you off. That like all the mass, PowerPoint, and all that stuff is good. That stuff is like he's on a yellow game strategy like this. I think I want to give him credit, and obviously he's gonna put Adams, and then I'm gonna look like crap. But I want to give him credit for that. He will do the right thing about not putting Adams. So sorry, go ahead, Corbin, in terms of what you think.
Who would you say is the starting midfield then?
So the number 6 is Kellyn Acosta.
I agree,
because he can do the set pieces, but he has to be 6. I don't want to see him in number 8. I've seen some people say put in number 8. Because he can be a defensive midfielder as number 8. And no, you don't do that. He's number 6. Musa has been outstanding also under the radar. And then after, that's where like I'm not as confident, and I won't be like, you need to do that. I prefer Luca De La Torre, but he's more of like someone that you need to have possession of the ball. And honestly, are we gonna have the possession of the ball?
No. No, not in this
one. So, but my main thing is like, if you want to link up quickly and him to deliver the assists and through balls, you need someone that knows how to dribble a little bit past and do that. And that's Luca De La Torre. Yes, he's not as physical. So that one, I'm not 100% sure, but I just like a lot Luca De La Torre.
You don't like Christian Roldan?
Who else? It's that or Gianluca Busio. Like that's sort of it. And Busio is not quite the box-to-box center midfielder you need.
Exactly.
He is not a good. I would agree. He's not a good player for this matchup.
And he's 19. We forget about it. He's 19. He's not ready for those kind of matches.
So is Yunus Musa though, secretly.
Sorry, what was? So I missed. Is that a question or was that?
Oh no, Yunus Musa is 19 too. It's crazy because he looks comfortable. But anyway.
Yeah, exactly. That in terms of maturity, you can see like the difference between those two players, right? And Yunus Musa had to go from adversity. Like he wasn't playing the beginning of the season. He was on the bench and he wasn't coming in. And he had to fight. And he's been played as a forward. He's been played as a defensive forward. It's a new position invented by the coach of Valencia. He's been played as a right wing back or stuff like this. And now he's a starter again. At the end of the season, he was a starter, but he lost his spot. And you see, like he's gonna be a really good player. With Gianluca Busio, I don't know yet if he's. I would like him. I know he has.
I will like him. I know that I will like him, not only just because he has Italian roots, but also because I think he's good. But
you don't love this guy already? Gianluca Busio plays for Venezia.
Well, I don't like him. I don't like him in this game. Like this game. This is a tactical game, and he doesn't play that often for the national team. This isn't the game to do that. it's also not the type of game that I think you would succeed in. So I like doing a rock solid midfield, and then see if you can get a moment of magic from the forwards. And then, if it comes out to be a draw, I think that's a win.
0-0 would be great.
I would walk out of there a champion. Yeah.
I think it's gonna be a 1-1.
Well, because honestly, we haven't talked about Mexico at all. They are not playing very well.
Should at home.
Yeah. They
They're
should.
at home, though.
Yeah, I know, but they
are they still on like COVID shit over there?
I hope so, but I doubt it.
It's not just that. They had like their they got fined for like and sanctioned for their homophobic chant, and then they had to create the fan ID, and like not everyone had filed for that, and because of that has reduced the capacity.
I take back what I said, by the way. They did lose to us. Well, I mean, I take back, yes, of course, but they did lose to us, and then they lost to Canada. But then in the last international break, they did beat Jamaica. They drew Costa Rica and they beat Panama.
Yeah, but how did they beat Jamaica? Like they got super mega lucky.
Yeah, they haven't played. They didn't play well, and I watched all three of those games. That's mostly what I meant, is they haven't played well. And Jimenez has not played very well. Lozano got hurt. It was weird. So even at home, I would have expected a little bit more. So it's not like Mexico's coming in steaming hot.
You must have seen all these guys play, Chris. So many of their team plays for Monterrey.
Yes, I probably.
They're just serving.
I wasn't really paying attention to these players, if I'd be fully honest. But I only played the 2 ones, and I knew they were gonna score. So that's it.
You were too distracted by a big Andre Pierre. I get it. I know where your head's at, Chris.
That's right.
Also, defenders, what do we feel like the back four will look like? DeAndre Yedlin, I must assume too. Yeah. As much as we made fun of Walker Zimmerman, I think he probably starts. He was excellent.
He does, yeah.
And then center back. What's the next center back?
Miles Robinson.
I like Miles Robinson too.
Yeah, I like him too, but apparently he's not in good shape, and there are rumors that he might not start. I forgot who's supposed to start.
James Sands plays for Rangers.
Yeah, but James Sands isn't he like a midfield? I know he's been
Reggie Cannon, Aaron Long, Eric Palmer.
It's Aaron Long. I think it's Aaron Long.
Yeah,
that's like the biggest joke of all time.
Aaron Long, the New York Red Bulls Bonucci. Yeah. I've heard that's they call him.
The New Jersey Bonucci. Oh, that's hilarious.
We're in trouble. Yeah. We could have used that. That's too bad that he's hurt. You know what I was looking at? Because we were talking about Jesus Ferreira. I was going to make some dumb joke about the FC Dallas mascot, Tex Hooper, but I decided that to not make the joke, because their academy has produced Weston McKennie, Chris Richards, Reggie Cannon, and Brian Reynolds.
Yeah,
that's pretty solid.
That's why I honestly, the MLS, the only time I can get like myself excited about sorry, I find the right word, motivated to watch a game and focus on watching the full 90 and not trying to snooze, is when I'm watching a team that has a lot of American players. Like, for example, like I tried to watch Seattle, and like they have Jordan Morris, and then that's it. Then the rest is like it's like international players. Austin is the same, but at least FC Dallas, like the front six, I know that's an expression we never use, but the all American player besides Alan Velasco, that's Argentinian, and it's really good too. So the front five, I guess, and very young, like Pomiakal again, I think is gonna get called up, and has chance to be a good midfielder also soon. So yeah, the FC Dallas, they've been great.
You're not catching any San Jose Earthquakes games, Chris? I could get you into the suite up here. Just shoot me a text when you're up here in the area.
Yeah, their coach is not having it. Is a bit like, I think he said something in conference. It's like, hey, did you see what the owner did at Houston? They're getting like Hector Herrera. What is my owner doing?
Ooh,
Give me the player.
Drama.
Yeah.
We do have a young striker that's
trouble in
supposedly-
Wondolowski land.
Yeah. PayPal Stadium. I supposedly we've got some young, like 18-year-old striker, Cade Cowell or something like that. That could be
Sounds very Gen Z.
a future men's national team player.
Cade Cowell.
Yeah,
That's
keep
like
your eyes on
like
him.
Bradley Bratt.
He's from the Central Valley. Brad Bobley.
Yeah, Brad Bobley. It's like, hey, I'm Cody Kovac. It's all of those guys. Yeah, that sounds good. Anyway, final predictions here for what happens on at the Azteca.
1-0 loss. Sorry.
It's a draw. 1-1.
A positive, Chris.
I'm gonna say a 1-0 defeat as well.
Wow, I'm the positive guy. That will be a first for
Chris,
French
look at
person
where
to
I'm
be
coming from,
optimistic.
though. Chris, I couldn't be less optimistic this week. I'm in my bunker, ready for
Two of your teams
heartbreak.
Yeah, I'm ready to talk about that.
Yeah, let's move on to that. So, not that we've talked about it at all at any point during any of our previous shows, but the UEFA World Cup qualifying playoff series kicks off as well this week, headlined by we've ignored the other groups. We're only talking about one group in particular in this qualifying series, and that is the Italy and Portugal group with North Macedonia and Turkey. Most importantly, the Italian national team is called up. Mancini has called up his squad. I will start with my opinions. Thank you, gentlemen.
Notably absent Mario Balotelli.
I know. You know what it is, and it's funny. I was hoping to have a little bit more of a in-depth analysis and a take here, but I think it's a very simple calculation from Mancini. He brought in a lot of people in training camp to test him out, including Balotelli. Balotelli gets a run-in with the national team starters at Coverciano, and they test out the chemistry. They test out, different things to see if it works. That was his tryout, and he didn't get a call back. And so what I think will happen is after Mancini, I'm sure, having seen all of the forwards that he could have possibly seen in the training lead up, has decided that he's going to run with the same formation and the same players that he ran with in Euro. I am almost certain of it. And that includes Immobile up top. I can't really blame him for this, but I would be surprised if anything is different up top. I would be surprised if anything is different in the midfield. And the only thing that would be different from that Euro squad is the fact that Chiellini and Bonucci are probably going to sit out due to injury. So that's the only
Both
thing
games?
I think the first game, they're probably going to save him. But it depends on his health. Bonucci is not, his calf is not doing well. So I'm a little worried about that.
Oh, you're a little worried. I'll send some live shots about how little he's worried on Thursday against North Macedonia.
I mean, here's the problem, right? So in the defense, after Chiellini and Bonucci, in the center back role, it's Acerbi. He is not good.
I thought Acerbi's played well. You hate him, but
I don't like him. He's not the type of player that I like, primarily because I don't think he's athletic enough. Bastoni, Biraghi, and Mancini. I think the center back pairing will probably be Bastoni and Mancini. But that is a dicey center back pairing, both of which I don't have trust in at the national team. Although in theory they should be playing. They're good players, so they should be.
Mancini
well,
doesn't play for the national team like ever.
No, I know.
He's going to get the nod.
I mean, who else do they have?
I don't know. I'm surprised that they didn't call up Romagnoli or Toloi. I would have. I don't know.
Toloi, I think he's been awful. I've watched him. His form has dipped dramatically, so I'm not necessarily surprised about that. They don't have any depth, and we talked about this in the Euros. I mean, it's still the same problem. They don't have. I would probably
play Bastoni with Acerbi, honestly, given those options. If Bonucci and Chiellini are off or can't play, then it'd be a bit weird to play. I think they're both left-footed, which would be an interesting center back pairing. But
yeah,
trouble in Palermo.
I don't know. I guess that's true. I mean, I wouldn't be upset with Acerbi, but
he's competent. He's a pro. He's like 34 too.
I know, but
That's what we need. We need those old grizzly Italian center backs. Dude, if
I
you're
know,
not
but he
32,
doesn't.
you're not allowed to play.
Yeah, but he doesn't have the quality of everybody else. But I mean, I guess at the end of the day, that's I'm a little worried about that. But they should beat more North Macedonia. That's the end of the story. They're at home in Palermo. It's going to be a sold out stadium.
It's gonna be rocking. It's not gonna be nervy like it was at the San Siro against Sweden.
Yeah, I need that. I need positive energy. Just like, when there's people outside on the marathon cheering you on, I need that, not people like me who are sitting silently nervous in the corner. I get that. We don't
Yeah. That's why we would never have you at the game.
I know.
You
I wouldn't
be
go.
making any crowd noise.
I wouldn't go.
Should see this guy Chris at USC games. He's just like a mouse over there, like hoping for good things.
I know. Well, Chris, I'm an observer. I'm not Brian like paints his face and goes out there and with his foam finger and cheers on for the team. I'm more of a cerebral fan.
Paints his face, foam finger. I mean, these are simply untrue.
I get you, Colburn. I'm the same way. I would never paint my face.
Thank you, Chris.
No, Chris, I don't paint my face either, but I do make noise if I'm going to be in the stadium. Fuck.
Qui ne saute pas n'est pas français.
Yes, exactly. You got to make some noise. Simple, dude.
Allez, les bleus. Allez, les bleus. Allez, les bleus.
Let me just say this,
the
Chris.
Sicilians are going to be all over it. Thank God.
I would so kill to be playing the Ivory Coast this week. I would just kill.
Me too. I can't wait. Didier Drogba gonna be on the beach, right? Oh no, sorry, that was a different generation. I got that wrong.
Oh man, all I have to say is that all the pieces are there. They have to score. They have proven not able to score recently, and they need to score. But the Italians have been waiting for this since November. I've been waiting for this since November. It's time to roll. They feel
dialed. I will say they feel dialed. No Chiesa is kind of like no McKennie for us a bit.
Yes.
It's a huge loss, but I feel like unlike 4 years ago, they've seen this movie, and for all of your pessimism, the Italians normally show up, and so I expect them to at least make the final against Portugal.
They show up once they get past the group stage. I will say that, but they need to get.
This is a team, by the way, that's lost one game in the last 3 years. Just throwing that out there. And it was in some fake tournament anyway, the Nations League semifinal.
They haven't qualified for the World Cup.
That's not a fake tournament. Sorry, please. That was the first.
Who won that?
Karim the Dream in the French national team. So big trophy.
Oh, that's hilarious. Chris, what do you think?
What do I think? I think in terms of injuries, for all the teams, have been really impacted. Portugal's also, hurt. Whether this is COVID, and that's funny. It's in the back. Both teams in the back. No Ruben Diaz, the
Big
boss
loss
of the defense, and Pep also, a million years old, is also out. So they'll have to do with Font and maybe a guy from Lille, Jallo, who's actually been pretty good, but he's been playing on the right back and not center back. So it's going to be maybe funky for him to play center back and lose a little bit of his habits there.
Is Cancelo also hurt or not playing?
Yeah, that's a big deal because the guy is on fire, has been on fire all season. So,
I'll just say Locatelli has COVID. Locatelli has COVID, so I would say both teams are hurting a little bit. Locatelli is a super sub, somebody that we appreciate on this podcast.
Do you love a good super sub? Good point. Good point.
So it does feel like we're sort of glossing over Turkey and North Macedonia, but I will say that Italy and Portugal separately are not fully healthy. Both teams.
Well, we are glossing over North Macedonia because who's ready to name a player on North Macedonia? I'm not.
I had Pendev, but he retired.
Pendev, he's retired.
No,
it's the only one I've ever heard of.
No,
they do have somebody that plays in Serie A, I think.
Yes.
Lazio.
Yeah, I'm gonna blow this, but Yilmaz, Elas, something like that.
Yeah. I know.
Oh, the guy in Napoli.
Yes.
Elmas.
Yes.
Shit, you're screwed. He knows all of your moves.
Yes, he's a Macedonian professional footballer. Plays in Serie A. So we'll have to watch Elif Elmas.
Well, I wouldn't be worried about from Portugal's perspective. Turkey looks like a great team on paper, but we watched them in the Euros. They were
They
miserable.
stunk.
So, but I don't know.
Yilmaz
Portugal
is not even starting for Lille anymore. Atem Ben Arfa, a 35-year-old that hasn't been playing for like a year, has taken his spot at Lille.
Well, but isn't Yilmaz also 35? Yilmaz has got to be 100 too.
Yeah, you love Barak. Yeah, he's really old too.
Yeah, Burak is 35, but last season he did like his best season of all time.
36 actually.
Yeah, last season he did his best season of all time, and like in France, pundits were like, "How come this guy is only just making out of Turkey at 35? Like, look at his talent he was able to, and all like his consistency and how he's been able to play." And this season is like showing why, because he's been inconsistent. And also the Turkish Superliga, apparently that's how they call themselves. Well, it's not very super anymore. Galatasaray 11th, Besiktas, I believe top 3. I think it's Başakşehir that's number 1. And it's a lot of it's a retirement house there. Like you had DeAndre Yedlin when he couldn't make it at Newcastle. And if you can't make it at Newcastle, that's tough. Had to go to Galatasaray, and even the Galatasaray not even playing all the times. Yeah, they should be Portugal, Italy, honestly, and it's not to be overlooked, because on one game, that's the one thing that's crazy. It's not two, it's not one way, one away, one home. It's one game. Even though you're hosting at home both teams, that's the craziness, because that could end up penalty, and then that's another story.
Predictions: Italy, North Macedonia.
Italy.
3-1.
Oh, Chris, you are going to be wrong. It's going to be Italy 1-0.
1-0.
1-0. 1-0 on the scrappiest, lamest goal they can score.
Just like
it could be 2. I could see 2.
Just like Cristiano says, when you score 1 goal, it's like ketchup. They all come out.
I'm telling you, 1-0. Mark it down.
That could happen if they score early, but they might not.
So Portugal, Turkey for predictions.
Portugal.
Yes, Cristiano.
I would say 2-0 Portugal.
Sure.
No, that's
2-1. 2-1 Portugal.
2-1. Yeah, 2-1 Portugal.
Perfect. We'll see.
What about the other matchups?
Irrelevant to me.
Yeah, but what about what about to our listeners?
No, our listeners are here for us. All right, let's go look at these other matchups. Sweden, Czech Republic. Wake me up when September ends. That's my comment after that one.
Yeah, and Patrick Schick is injured, I believe, so Sweden.
Perfect.
Wales, Austria.
Ooh, Gareth Bale is gonna be on fire.
I think the Austrians are excellent. They gave Italy a huge run, and I thought they played very well as a team.
They have a good generation, and they have a lot of players that actually play in like a smaller team around Europe. And Wales, I don't see them
in Wales though, right?
It's not been great, so that's gonna be a tight one. I think Austria is better based on like how they were able to really play against Italy at the Euro. So I would say Austria.
I think Austria as well.
Yeah. On the road?
Well, Wales never impresses me.
Yeah, but they always makes it usually. I mean, to the Euro, not to the World
Euro, yeah. I don't remember them being in the World Cup. I can see this one going to penalties. I'm going to take the home team, Wales.
Wow. All right. We'll see.
Drama.
While we're here,
Scotland, Ukraine. No one's paused.
Yeah, and then Russia is canceled, which we won't even discuss.
It would have been sweet if you guys got drawn with Russia, huh?
Well, I would love
you would have taken that walkover all day long.
100%.
Take me straight to the winner of Sweden, Czech Republic.
Yeah. Give me some more time for Chiesa to heal. More time for Spinazzola to get better. I need some more time.
Who's playing left back, by the way? Do we even talk about that? Is it Emerson?
It's going to be Emerson. He's going to roll with the same lineup. It's going to be like 22 Jump Street. It's going to be the same exact plot.
I'm taking Sweden. at home.
I'm also taking Sweden as well.
So then so Scotland, Ukraine is not till June. So we're gonna have Poland, Sweden in Poland.
Poland.
They'll always call their automatics for the World Cup, and then
Automatics
also
for the World Cup and automatic not gonna get out of the group.
Automatic group stage elimination.
Dude, I don't understand these teams that are automatically and then they show up and they're useless. Poland is every year or every major tournament. They make it and they don't do anything of any interest despite having good players. All right, I agree with that. And then Italy, Portugal.
Portugal.
Oh, God damn it.
What am I supposed to say?
I hate you. You got the World Cup behind you and you're going to be like Portugal. God.
This is I'm knocking on wood back here. That's what I have to say. I'm not taking any chances here.
What if it was Italy, Turkey in Turkey?
Turkey.
What a setup.
I will not be fooled. I will not be fooled.
You won't be fooled again.
No. Other than
Chris,
that, there's
Italy, Portugal for you,
Chris,
since you're unbiased and not just crying over there before it's even happened.
Unbiased? I don't know if I'm unbiased.
Well, it's towards Italy and Portugal.
I like
no,
Colburn.
Chris wants Italy to lose so that France can pick up another
I like
World Cup.
Colburn, but France, Italy, Cannavaro says there is no rivalry because you guys have stolen 2 World Cup in the 30s before the World War, where like there were 2 teams that played the game,
Nice.
And stole 1 World Cup against Zizou. So technically should have only one.
Well, France should have won one of those. They hosted one of them.
Yeah. Besides that cringy nonsense of mine, I think it's going to be a very tight one. It's going to be a nail biter. It's going to be a 0-0. It's going to be extra time and it's going to be penalty.
Yeah, that feels right.
I think Italy will win and it will be like a 2004 Euro Cup all over again when Cristiano will miss his penalty and he will cry.
Do you think he's too old to cry now, or we could see him cry again?
I think that's his last World Cup, honestly. Even though he says he's gonna play until he's like 42.
No, he can't.
And he wants to move to LA because he wants to be an actor and play in MLS.
Perfect.
Like when you move to MLS, like you don't make it back to the national team. I mean,
ask Javinko that.
It's true. You can ask Insigne that. Insigne, you can ask him in a few months.
I don't know, dude. I bet Shaqiri is still going to be kicking it for the Swiss. They don't have a lot of other options.
He's going to be in form for the Chicago Fire.
I saw him make a penalty kick.
I tried to watch the Chicago Fire game, but there was no one in attendance. They sucked, and I had to zap. I couldn't watch. I tried.
Chris, you have an appetite for the MLS that I don't have.
Tough.
I don't even think about it. When I scroll through the MLS scoreboard, I think to myself, no chance am I putting any of these games on.
AFC was pretty fun to watch, I'd say, and it was at 7 p.m. on Sunday. There was not much to do, so I was like, why not? And it was pretty fun.
Chris, do you also want to touch on Senegal, Egypt?
Yeah,
we're back. We love that. We love that game. Yeah.
Who's carrying that game? Is that on beIN Sports?
Yes.
No, it's ESPN Plus.
Really?
Yeah, everything's on ESPN Plus, my friend, I believe.
Yeah, that's why I asked you that, Chris. That was not a question for Colburn, and not a details guy.
Let's check the tapes.
Let me double check. I think it's on Friday, right? It's on Friday.
Friday and Tuesday or Wednesday or something, yeah.
Friday, Egypt, Senegal. They haven't put on which channel it is, but I think I double checked that today or yesterday. So
hold up, I'll get this. This is my area of expertise.
Things aren't looking good on beIN Sports for that game. So looks like we might be going to ESPN Plus.
Oh, there's also the UEFA Nations League coming up. We've got Estonia, Cyprus, and Moldova, Kazakhstan. I need to tune into those.
Do you know what's even more frustrating is
we've got CONMEBOL too.
Yeah, yes, no, we do. But Brian, ESPN2 is going to be showing Portugal, Turkey. So we'll have to figure out.
Yeah, no, I know. We're ESPN Plus guys on the computer. African qualifiers are all on ESPN Plus starting 8 a.m. on Friday with the Democratic Republic of the Congo against Morocco.
Yeah, I saw that too, just a little bit after you. So yeah, that's my area of expertise. I used to work in TV rights management. So yeah.
There we go. You know what's great is that during these qualifiers, you know who doesn't take any games or match days off? It's MLS. We've got Charlotte against Cincinnati on Saturday.
I know.
Dude, you can't even make that up. Sporting Kansas City against our boys Real Salt Lake Saturday at 4 p.m.
Hang on. There was a sentence they said at the end of the broadcast in the LAFC game against Vancouver, and they said like, "Oh yeah, the LAFC like they are very lucky because they're not gonna have to play any game during that international break."
Unbelievable to me. They don't even play. Everything's wrong. It's all wrong. Sunday at 1 o'clock, Portland, the Portland Timbers takes on Orlando City at 1 o'clock. It's in the same time slot as Canada, Jamaica. And then we play Panama at 4.
Pacific time?
Yeah, our game is Sunday at 4 p.m. Pacific time.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And then we play Wednesday night at Costa Rica at 6:05. Wait, who's carrying the rights for the game on Sunday? It's not ESPN?
Yes, I think so.
No, it's FS1.
Oh.
But I will be watching the game on Tudenne. That is a fact, as I do all of the US men's qualifiers, especially the Mexico game. I would love to watch that on Univision, but
no, we'll be watching that on.
Well, we'll have no choice.
That's on FS1 too, right?
Yeah, we will have no choice. Yeah,
I'm okay with that. That's gonna be sick. 7 o'clock Thursday.
It'll be on CBS Sportsnet.
You're right. I meant to say that because it's a road game.
Anyway, so Chris, any thoughts on Egypt, Senegal?
Egypt, Senegal, yeah, that's the revenge. And usually, usually in the history of football, when this kind of stuff happens, typically my thing is if you play in the group stage and then you meet again in the final, the team that won in the group stage loses in the final. And the funny part is that usually when that happens, it wasn't a draw. It's always like a team that wins and it's a team that dominates the other team. And then in the final, it's the other team that dominates them, like you would never guess. From what I remember for that final in the AFCON, it wasn't a domination. So I think it will be tied again.
I won't be fooled again on AFCON big ties because I have been getting buried with 0-0s all over the place.
Yeah. I think Mo Salah comes up big. I think Egypt actually makes it. I want Senegal, obviously. I really like those guys of
I would agree.
Francophones. I love Edouard Mendy. I love his story. I love Sadio Mane. I love Gana Gueye. But I hope I'm wrong, but I think it's going to be that. The other one is Cameroon, Algeria. And that's also another big one. Cameroon coming up from a big disappointment of losing at home, even though the organization did everything for Cameroon to win. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you remember, but they're like, there were a lot of issues with like players testing positive on the opponent team. And they had to play against the Comores, and they were like they didn't have any goalkeeper. They had to took a defender plays goalkeeper, and they were saying like, okay, no, the goalkeeper can play. He's recovered and he's testing negative. And no, sorry, no, he can't play. You guys don't play with the goalkeeper. So, and they didn't even win. They won that game, but they didn't win at home. So Algeria, big disappointment too. And Algeria is kind of I don't want France to play against Algeria because it's the biggest community in France, and it would be a shame that France loses against Algeria. That similarly to France lost against Senegal in 2002. but Algerian paper is stronger. They have a better coach. They have a better team. And usually you come back from a disappointment and you win. So I would say Algeria is the favorite, even though this is going to be slight favorite for me, even though this is going to be a tough, a close one to watch.
Let's go through actually the final.
I'm rooting for Senegal.
Yeah, the final playoffs here. So the Senegal-Egypt one, I know we talked about this, but this is a brutal draw for both of them.
I've seen totally brutal. But I saw Egypt at the last World Cup. It's Mo Salah, nobody else. I don't need to see that again. They remind me of Poland. No thanks.
That's not true. They have
that is
Poland,
so true.
they have Milik, they have other players.
Oh, Poland is much better, but they're equally like
Poland.
they're never getting out of the group. I want no part of that. That group that Egypt was in with Russia, that group stunk. They didn't get it. They couldn't find a way out of it.
Yeah, but I think Mo
Not
Salah
even
got
close.
injured because Ramos did injure him in the final of the Champions League, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, but the thing is, we talked about how Egypt recruits players who play in the domestic leagues and they all play together cohesively and better as a unit.
Exactly.
So I will say this, but I would agree completely with Brian. I'm rooting for Senegal and they're my pick to advance strictly because I want them to.
They're better too.
They're a better team.
I would prefer them. They actually have a chance of getting out of a group.
They are the best team in Africa right now with Algeria. I would want them. I have a feeling they're not gonna make it.
Are they going to be mentally ready to come back for these World Cup qualifiers?
Exactly. Like Gana Gueye, he hasn't come back from the AFCON. Like he's been a different player. He's not been playing well since he came back. Edouard Mendy has changed him. He's playing better. It was great that he went to the AFCON and he started playing again great. Sadio Mane, I think for Liverpool, it's been so-so.
But Brian, we're going to crush these games if we can.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
Algeria, Cameroon. I'm picking Algeria. I agree with you, Chris. I think Algeria is top to bottom and that's probably the second best team.
You know what's crazy is that could have been Algeria, Ivory Coast. I feel like Ivory Coast is probably one of the top like 2 or 3 nations. And I was just looking. Cameroon was in Ivory Coast group in the last stage. I find the African qualifying to be totally impossible.
The hardest one.
Yes, it's hardest one.
It's unforgiving.
Yeah, it's totally. You play 6 games in the previous round.
Yeah, and only the first
you have to win.
One. Only the first one. It doesn't qualify. It gets you to the next round.
Right.
And then I mean, it's better than
states. This thing. It's just home and away against like Egypt, Senegal. It's crazy.
It's gonna be better for the next World Cup where they're gonna have more country qualified.
The African teams will benefit because they won't have to go through this gauntlet. It's insane. I would like to watch Ivory Coast in the World Cup, but I won't because they're.
I prefer Ivory Coast over the winner of Mali, Tunisia.
Oh yeah, those draws. Yeah, those draws were brutal. Like the best team playing against each other, and Mali, like I probably know, is a francophone country too. I probably know one player, and I don't think I can name you right now.
Tunisia is better, but they're another Egypt.
Mali had a good player a few years ago, I think.
Yeah, you're correct. He was a striker.
Yeah, Kanouté.
Kanouté, yes. He was great.
I was thinking of.
Oh, that's what I was thinking of. DR Congo versus Morocco. Morocco should win that. Ghana, Nigeria, that's a huge one.
Mali's players are all in France, or at least their strikers are.
Yeah. Because
and the defense. Oh my God,
Nigeria,
they're all over this league.
Nigeria, so it's English speaking Africa.
Yeah,
so Nigeria, Ghana, that's a huge one. Yeah, I completely slipped on me.
Ghana's not very good anymore, though.
Yeah.
No, but we're still going to be saying goodbye to good African teams. And we're going to be saying hello to Tunisia or Mali. Tunisia or Mali or Morocco or the Democratic Republic of Congo.
Oh, Morocco's good.
Yeah, Morocco's okay.
Yeah, I guess like I think Nigeria is better than both of them. I think Nigeria is better than Morocco.
I don't know.
Maybe.
They're pretty solid, Morocco.
Yeah, I think Morocco's all right.
I think Morocco's all right.
Seydou Keita.
Their coach sucks, he used to be the coach of Paris Saint-Germain, Vaid Alizolzic, and he's a militarist kind of style of guy. He had a famous sentence once when we had a Parisian, a PSG player that got transferred to Marseille, and he asked like, what because at the time you were not transferring from your frenemies, your enemies, right? And he said, and like, he was like very blunt, and he said, I'll be honest with you, I went home and I threw up. Like this, like deadpan. It's one of the most legendary sentence of French football.
By the way, quick pop quiz.
It was Seydou. Hold on, before it was Seydou Keita. That was the Malian player, not Canute. Seydou Keita plays for Barcelona.
He's not from Mali.
No, he was too. But I mean, Keita
that's not the guy that Brian was thinking of.
Keita was a Champions League winning midfielder.
What? Canute, you don't remember? Like
I know. I remember Canute now, but I'm just saying Keita was the guy I was thinking of. He was the better player between the two.
He played in Barca.
Right. Yeah, he's Barca. Yeah, Barca all the way.
Oh, that's why. That's why.
If Messi likes him, Brian likes him.
Hey, we're back. You know what? Speaking of Messi, you know who's super happy it's Messi because he's out of Paris. He's back home in Argentina.
I know. He pretended he had a cold, so he just goes to. He didn't play in Monaco, losing 3-0.
3-0. Yeah, we didn't want to talk about that.
I don't want to talk about that.
Okay, pop quiz for you both. Top goal scorer in this qualifying cycle in the African qualifying rounds. Who is it so far?
It's a Cameroonese guy, right?
Yeah, give us a country.
Algeria.
Oh, Algeria. So that's Bounedjah then.
Brian?
It's not Mahrez?
Riyad Mahrez.
Islam Slimani.
Islam Slimani, yes. The
player
Sporting Portugal.
Mahrez was the fake out.
Yeah, Mahrez is a fake out. He has 5 goals. He's tied for second, but yes.
Slimani. Where does he play now?
7 goals.
Portugal.
He's in Portugal?
Sporting.
Oh, yeah, Sporting. Yeah, that's right.
He was at Lyon, but he wasn't playing at Lyon, and so he's going back to his first European club, Sporting Portugal.
We should have gotten Slimani. Shame.
He hit the post.
33.
Yeah, he hit the post against the US in the 2010 World Cup with that early in the first half. I remember that. It was a great game.
For the US, obviously.
Landon Donovan.
Yeah.
Never forget.
Distribution. Brilliant. So final agenda item of tonight, ladies and gentlemen, is financial fair play. Chris, you want to take this away? Brian and I have a great story for you.
This might be a solo segment for you.
Okay.
We have a great story for you after this, though, Chris.
I can't wait for those anecdotes. So looks like reports came out, from Tariq. I don't know how you say his name, actually. I think his famous English journalist from the New York Times that always comes out with those scoop of the Super League and all that stuff. I think his name is Tariq Panka. I don't know how you say his name. And he came out with like the new iteration of the financial fair play. So in Europe, I think you know that also in the US, we say, the king is dead, the king is dead, the king's alive. So basically, a joke in terms of like something is finished and dead, but actually it's just reborn. So the new rules are that you cannot exceed 70% of your revenue as your salary. It's not a salary cap, but it's as in terms of the total salary. So it's a rundown salary cap because they cannot enforce a salary cap in Europe because the European Commission and Free Trade says that you cannot enforce that. So it has to be enforced at the local level. So that's why they cannot do like what they do in US leagues. One thing that I think is important is that this time the penalty and it will be written, because before it wasn't written, that it will be you do not qualify for the Champions League if you exceed. Before it was just like, oh, we'll see, maybe we'll give you a fine, blah, blah, blah. And now this time it says you will be disqualified. So the penalty will be stronger. But as you know, it's about having the best. It's about having the best lawyers, and that's why Manchester City has not been disqualified from playing in Champions League, where they should have, but they won at the TAS Tribunal. So in English, that must be SAT, Sports Arbitral Tribunal or Court, CAS, maybe in English. Sorry. And yeah, so it's a softer rule, and that's beneficial to Paris Saint-Germain. Even though they'll never won if they don't decide to have a sports strategy and not a marketing strategy, and not that they are in a FIFA or Football Manager and just buy the best player and they think they'll win the Champions League that way. No, you need a Champions League midfield, a winning midfield. So I think, that's important that we have rules like this, and see if they are applied, because you cannot spend that much money like crazy like this. So I'd love to hear from you, like you guys' anecdotes. So tell me about the financial fair play.
Well, Chris, we have a great story about financial fair play. Back when we used to host the West Coast Soccer Report, one of the highest rated podcasts on student radio at USC. We had
one of them, yes, for sure.
Yeah, one of the top ones. They had just announced the first iteration of financial fair play, and Brian and I had Gabriele Marcotti on our radio show, specifically calling from London to talk about the financial fair play rules and regulations for us on the podcast. Now, the problem with that was that our little student radio station, which hooked up phone callers directly into the line to be able to talk through the microphones and basically hook it into our set, did not work internationally. And so what happened was we had Gab call my cell phone, and we leaned the speaker of my iPhone up to the microphone, and Brian and I huddled around that same microphone to provide the interview for all of our 10 listeners. It was quite an experience.
I know, but you find a way, and you had Gab Marcotti on the show. So that's a good anecdote. So I'd love someday we bring some.
I have that segment. So I have that segment saved.
Wow. So you kept memory. So that's awesome. Yeah, that's and he would be doing a better explanation than I'm doing right now about what the iteration of the financial fair play, because he's really good about those details and all that stuff. And on his show with Julien Laurence, the French guy, the French guy, he knows a lot of stuff, but he's really like for the zingers, when Marcotti is more there for like the actual facts and details, explanation of what works and what doesn't work. So high praise for Gab Marcotti and his yearly 25-35 points of like what should happen in 2022. It's always on point, and there's always like something that we don't think about. That's like he's great.
Yeah, I used to be in a great habit of reading his musings every week, which are awesome. That guy watches every European game every week. It's unbelievable. The only thing missing from his resume is he wasn't tuning into the FC Dallas game like you were, Chris.
Yeah, like even Ligue 1, he knows like this knowledge of Ligue 1. Because Ligue 1, it's very difficult I know he has this Italian background, and he studied I believe in Florence. Sorry, I don't know how you say that in Italian. Excuse me, Corbin. So it's a bit easier for him, but still, like France, all those stories, and he knows all those stories, and those rivalries and all that stuff. Maybe like working with Julien Laurence, and he told him a little bit about that, but like he knows, and then Germany too, like he knows about like all those Germany stuff, and I don't know. So like he's in
and
French.
then he follows Bas Doss all over the world wherever he's playing. It's crazy. That was pretty funny. That interview with him was good. He went very, very deep into the financial fair play like you did, Chris. I don't remember if we had a whole lot to add to it, but we did bully him into a prediction for the Milan Derby, which I do
that
regret.
all the time. That's not cool. Now he doesn't want to come back on the show.
Yeah, he'll never talk to us again. He's gonna be like, "Why these total jokers were like, hey, tell us what the score of the game is," and he said 2-2, and I could tell he was like, "Screw you guys."
Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, so that's our little financial fair play anecdote. But we'll see how it shakes out. Gentlemen, any final words for the listeners this evening?
I'm going to be taking a lot of videos and pictures of you, Colburn, while you're watching the Italian game, Chris, and I'll share those with you. And we can post a couple onto our account. Fully panicked, huddling around a computer, hopefully.
I know exactly how I'm going to feel in the moment.
Forza Italia.
I know exactly how this is going to go. So we'll see. We'll see. Fingers crossed.
Do they say Forza Italia or they say Forza Azzurri?
Both. Entrambi le due. But you can see Forza.
What's the national anthem? The Italian national anthem is one of my favorites.
L'elmo di Scipio scinta la testa. I'm not going to sing it, but I will be singing it. I'll be singing it on Thursday. That's a fact.
Oh, I can't wait, dude. The Sicilians are going to be belting that out. That's going to be epic.
Siamo pronti alla morte, Italia chiamo. Sì!
Yes,
Cristiano plays for Italy?
What? Oh, Cristiano. Nice.
As
one of my favorites.
As the neutral, since November, I have been waiting for that time. Like, this is more exciting than the beginning of the World Cup, honestly.
I know.
For neutral. Colburn, I'm sorry, I've been supporting you, as you know, for Italy, England. We were able to make an alliance that day. For this one, I'll just be, like Galeano says, I'll just be a beggar for good football. And probably that usually doesn't happen because those games are cutthroats. But I still hope I see Italy, Portugal. But then after, the best needs to win.
We'll find out. The rubber meets the road in this playoff format. You never have to wonder about, different legs and things like that. It's one game.
Il canto dei Italiani.
Yeah. The song of the Italians. Yeah. It's
also known as the Inno di Mameli.
Yeah. Mameli.
It's Mameli?
Yeah.
God, I hate Italian. I hate that shit. Get that out of here.
Yeah. That's okay.
Fratelli d'Italia. That's the line, though. Brothers of Italy. We are in trouble.
I know. Brian's going to be wearing his De Rossi jersey, I'm sure. So we'll be fine. We'll be fine, guys.
You're going to have to bring that for me. Maybe I'll bring my Totti jersey that doesn't fit anymore. I can wear it as a belly shirt.
I plan to be wearing. I was almost going to wear it tonight, but I didn't want to jinx it. I'll be wearing it on Thursday. It's a fact. And I'll be wearing it on Sunday again.
Wait. The 2018 World Cup jersey that you just put Totti on the back?
No. My 2020 Totti Euro Italian jersey.
Euro. That's right. They didn't make the World Cup in 2018, so I was so nervous about this.
Don't remind me. And then also the United States. I need a US jersey.
I need a new US jersey. I gotta get a Pulisic.
Yeah, Patrick has our friend Chris has Darlington Nagbe as the number 10. So
that
didn't age very well.
I got a Michael Bradley, so I'm gonna be popping that out for Thursday.
Oh my god. There hasn't been a good one since the 2016 one that was blue, yellow, and red, which is actually the colors of France. Like since then, they kind of been sucky. Like I like the white one, but like the blue one, like and the ones right now, they like really suck.
Oh yeah. Those are terrible. The white ones are good though. We'll see those on Thursday when Mexico's wearing those crazy purple or black ones or whatever.
They need to go back to the green. I love the green.
Yeah. I'm with you on that. Yeah, the Nike. I forgot about these. The blue or the red and blue. That looks like it's chaos. Horrible. Yeah, horrible.
So anyway, that's our show. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Remember, please subscribe on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram, the Supersub Pod. We're live every week. This will be uploaded directly after the show on YouTube. Thanks for tuning in. And we'll see you again next week, where some of us will be crying and hopefully not, but you never know. So we'll have all the reactions that you could possibly ask for next week on our show, the Supersub Pod. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Have a great day.
Ciao.
Ciao.